I'm Mariana.
And I'm Steph, and welcome to
Coffee and Anime.
I totally pulled the card early. That's okay.
I saw that. I was like, wait, what is she doing?
No, I hit the button by accident, and I was like, oh no, this has already started. Okay. Well, welcome, guys. This is only our second live broadcast, as you can tell, so this is going to be a lot of fun. And we are talking about an anime that is near and dear to Mariana's heart, and this is my first run through of this one, so it's been an adventure.
So, Oh My Goddess is I feel like it started in like the 90s, the manga.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's I think it's older. I forget off the top of my head. But this is from 2002, 2004-ish point in time. And I love this. I love the characters. Even though Keiichi kind of gets on my nerves, not gonna lie about that. He can be kind of annoying. But I don't know. I love them. I love the whole aspect. And Belle Dandy, I'm declaring this to all the people. Look in my eyes. Belle Dandy is best girl. Hands down. Your waifus, meh. Belle Dandy all the way. Declared it.
We had to get that out of the way. That was the first thing. I will say, from somebody who's watched anime in multiple decades now, it aged well. Like, I was enjoying it even from it being an older one. Like, it's well drawn. And then I looked up some stills from like the manga and stuff, because that's what you do once you like something, you're gonna read it too. It's really well done. So, like, shout out to the people that created it, both animated and who's the mangaka? Do you know? Did I get a chance?
Off the top of my head, I cannot remember the mangaka's name, actually.
I can look it up on Wiki while we're talking. Yeah, let me see.
Mom braining.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, no. I've actually only read the first omnibus. I have the first three, right? Mm-hmm. And so Dark Horse, forever will be angry with Dark Horse. Okay. They have or had the rights to Oh My Goddess for 20-something years.
I was gonna say, it looks like
and in 2015, they started putting out an omnibus. And by 2017, they just stopped. They dropped it. I don't know what the heck was going on. I don't know why it happened. No, nothing. I don't know if they lost the license or if somebody was like, this isn't selling. I have no idea. But I have the first three. And then I don't have 4, 5, and 6 of the omnibus, but there should be. But 6 ends at chapter, I think, like 104, and it goes until chapter 308.
I'm gonna say it's like 300 chapters. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a huge chunk. That's just not. You just don't get. It's really, for me as a giant fan, it was pretty upsetting because I was slowly collecting them. And then, like, the past couple of years, it just got really hard, and I didn't understand why. And then I looked it up, and I was like, what? No. So Dark Horse, hear me out. Continue or pass it on. You know, Viz, pick it up. Somebody. It's great. Yeah. Everybody will love it.
Kosuke Fujishima is what the name of the mangaka is.
There we go.
Yeah. Looked it up. Perfect. But really well done. Like, and I was surprised, even from episode 1, I was expecting there to be like a Saris feel to it, like the crop tops in the 80s, kind of like 90s vibe. It's actually like, it's good. It aged well. It like, you could watch it today and still be like, okay, because I think it's because of the goddess clothes. Like, they're so out there that it could be in any timeline. That's just the way that they look.
Yeah. And then, like, I mean, even when they're dressed regularly, Belle Dandy is dressed very conservatively, right? You know, she's not really. And Erd is dressed, you know, saucy and sexy. Yeah, you know what I mean. And Scold is I don't think she's a preteen. She's preteeny, or she's a teen, like young teen. Forget. You know, but she's dressed for her age too. Yeah. So it's not, the clothes aren't that dated looking. They're unique.
Mm-hmm.
like you said. So, and then, I mean, he's just in like a t-shirt and jeans.
Yeah. The tucked in shirt though just makes me laugh every time I see it in anime. I'm just like, I was like, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh. I know,
But
I
it's
know.
very like good boy too, so this works.
He's so, he's too sweet to a certain extent, but he is. He's very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta love him.
They're like one of the few I feel like that were complementary to each other at the very beginning. So you're like invested in both of them for the entire ride versus being annoyed with one half of the coupling for certain parts.
Yeah,
So it was entertaining.
yeah.
Keep it
They're sweet.
going. I'll just let
Best
you. I
girl.
was just like, let's just let you talk about it for a little while.
So, fun fact. So, do you understand where Valdandy or Skull? Do you understand where that comes from?
I read it was like a Norse thing, and I'm not familiar with Norse mythology as much as I am with Greek. So it's really cool that they took it from somewhere and like brought them back from that. But I think aren't they kind of like minor goddesses in the mythology too, or are they major?
So no. So it's kind of they are the Norns.
Mm.
They are Erd is past, Valdandy is present, and Skuld is future.
Oh,
So
very
and
cool.
actually Valdandy's name is Verandi or Verandid or something like that. I forget. I have to like look at it to say it, but it actually starts with a V,
Oh,
not a B. So they definitely like played with her name a little bit, but they are the ones they would come to do like blessings with babies and things like that. And but there's a how could I put it? They're the Norns, but then also sometimes they're mentioned as the Valkyries too. And the
oh,
Valkyries like came and took soldiers to Valhalla, and all that stuff. So, but yeah, so it's very like when they're talking about the Almighty One, they're talking about Odin
oh, very cool.
and stuff like that. I will say, while I love the English voices and the English cast, uh, the mispronunciation throughout this just drove me nuts. You
I enjoyed
rascal.
the dub for most part, but I think I like my classic animes dubbed just because that's how I used to watch it so much. But like I switched when they went to the new season in Japanese, and it didn't have the same, I don't know, joy to it almost because it's like I should have started in Japanese and then watched it. It would have been fine too.
I've
But
actually never watched it in Japanese.
it's very rough. It's like because I think in dub that they get people that are maybe younger to voice act sometimes, and like you get like the
Mhm.
more seasoned voice actors in Japanese, so it sounded like she aged 10 years in between seasons, and so I was like, and then Keiichi sounded like he had been smoking a couple cigarettes before he jumped on there, so I was like, okay. It was not bad, but it was just definitely like, oh, that's jarring difference between the two.
Where now you have the opposite, where like the dub voices try to sound too young,
Yes.
and the Japanese voices sound age appropriate.
Yes. Like never not never. I'm sorry to whoever had to dub haiku, but you guys messed it up because I can't do it.
I
So it's
know I
just
can't either.
like I
I can't
can't.
either.
Oh my
Why
gosh.
does why does Tanaka sound like he's from the South, like he's from Texas, like
Daisuke's
randomly?
voice is atrocious and so Suga's. Like that was like the quintessential like points. I was like, if you can't get like the normal dudes right, like what are you doing? I can't listen to any of this.
I
So
watched one episode and I was like, huh, no, thank you.
I didn't even get through one episode, and then Devin and I were like, we're gonna we're gonna drink every time it sounds awful, and we watched like probably 20 minutes, and we were done. So it was pretty funny because we watched it. He loves the haiku, and he's like, no, can't do it.
Yeah, but she's really sweet. I adore her. She's just genuine.
Mm-hmm.
She genuinely wants to do good. She genuinely wants to like bring people happiness, and she honestly and genuinely loves Keiichi,
Yeah.
and just wants him to be happy. Like, and I like that. I like that, you know, and it's not like she is being forced or there's any kind of how could I say, any like, I feel like there's no sort of patriarchal nonsense about it. The way it's presented.
Nope. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I do love her.
I was genuinely like, because you have a lot of during this time frame. I think it was the genre for it, because you had quite a few shows like this where they had the male lead and they have all these females with the one good girl that happens to be it, and it always seemed like they were reluctant until like the end of the series, and so it was like refreshing, like you said, that she's very genuinely interested in him, genuinely interested in his well-being, not just in him as a him as in his time and effort, that she wanted him to succeed in life and everything else too. And also that she understood her own powers and everything too, because you know how a lot of people are like, oh, I have to discover how strong I am as I go along. She's very herself.
Yes.
So,
yes.
yeah. Definitely your good girl. I will give her that.
Yes, she is. But you know, I mean, she had her moments. She had her jealous moments.
Yeah, but that's because she never felt that way before. So it's kind of like it's different. And at least she knew, probably most likely, that she was doing it, but she didn't care. But it was just like, yeah. These are the ones that you had for like introducing the sisters and the spirits, like her angels, like the idea of that. Noble. It was very cool.
Yeah, that episode was really sweet. So I did this picture where it's Belldandy Scold, and I thought that was really funny because it's episode I think like it's later in the first season, but Erd is trying to get him to like confess, like flat out confess to, and she was weeping, and he's like, "I love you," and she's like right there, and she's just like, "Oh, huh, Scold." She's young, like she's just so like it's just like she was just like, huh. But
it's amazing how oblivious the two of them are through their little journey too. Well, not really. They know they like each other, just didn't want to say it, because even like the motorcycle guys that are in his dorm in the beginning, they were hilarious because they figured it out within like 4 minutes, and then they were just like, okay, this is fine, we're gonna be team Belldandy for life, and then go on from there. But yeah, it's just interesting, and great side characters for like relatives and stuff too, because like his sister was also interesting, and she made the episodes better, so it was kind of nice.
You know what, that's the one thing I do love about this show too, which I think was why I was so drawn to it, because you did have, you know, in the early 2000s a lot of the like the dynamic where there's, you know, the harem dynamic, although this is not a harem in any way, shape, or form. You had that harem dynamic, and a lot of the side characters were made to be insufferable to favor one character a lot, where I feel like they didn't have to be. They just didn't need to be the girl. Where, you know, this, it's like it's everybody adds to it. It's very, I would say it's less shonen, because I do believe it's in the shonen category. Less shonen and more slice of life.
Yeah,
way more slice of life, because they're all just there, and you know, the sisters are causing him trouble and driving him nuts and blowing up his house.
Yeah, the poor guy. Like, and I like that he has like normal issues halfway through. He's like, how am I going to buy groceries? I need to be able to pay and support for all these people. And the girls are just like, no, we're just going to cause all kinds of problems. And they're just like do their thing. It's very easy to watch too. I found myself watching like 2 or 3 of them, and as you know, for me, that's pretty good because I don't usually normally binge anything, and so it was. And I think it also, because watching it in dub, I was able to like full clothes and like do my mom thing while I was watching it. So it was really, really nice. I highly recommend for anybody, even if you don't watch some of the older series, this one's actually, it's really well. As you can see from the art, it's like it aged really, really, really well. Like it's well, smoothly animated and everything. So
it did. It was, you know, and it's funny because, I mean, I'm not trying to diss on it, but it's it was made around the same time as like Fruit Baskets,
Original.
the original, you know. So you can tell just the different. It almost has almost the same quality as the new one that they made recently.
Yeah.
You know, and you just look at her angel. It's like that's gorgeous.
It's just
Gorgeous.
it's different, even just with them like sitting still, like the way their hair moves and like the attention to detail of the person animating it's on a different level. It's very, very professional and well done, which is why it's probably one of everybody's favorites right now. I will tell you this though, I was watching it on YouTube and it kept taking me to one of the OVAs, and so I was getting so confused at one point because the little sister was like cleaning the floor and yelling at him about something. And I'm like, where did she even come from? Like by episode 5. And I was like, what is going on right now? And it kept bringing me back to that same OVA. So really I'm going to watch it after this now that I've seen the 2 seasons. But I'm like, I have to go back now and see what's going on.
3 OVAs and a movie. And it's actually I feel like one of the OVAs or the movie actually connects season 1 and 2.
Oh.
Because there's a big event that happens with the Almighty One. But yeah, so and they kind of reference it in the first episode of season 2, but it's just like a slight reference. And so I don't think people really would notice it. But yeah. We want to know season 1 is on YouTube. And it's not like, old school YouTube.
Yeah.
Episode 1, part 6, 5 minutes. It's actually 5 episodes.
Yes, which was handy. Like that way too. I was hoping, I'm like, oh gosh, this is gonna be fun.
It's actually full episodes and it's on one person's account too. So you can watch full season 1 on YouTube, and then season 2 is on Funimation, which is actually really confusing to me. Like, I don't understand why Funimation only has the rights to season 2.
It might be part of your Dark Horse mystery, so maybe Funimation will get some manga out too. So we'll see. It's interesting.
Funimation could like pair with like, I don't know, Viz or somebody. So it's such a good show. It's so feel good. Like, I don't understand why everybody should be demanding this.
It's still, because it is written. You can see it. There's screens and stills. It just needs to be put into a paperback form and printed. So it's just like, it doesn't need to be waited for somebody to write it. It's done. Just print it.
Yeah. It just needs to be knocked out.
Cute.
So this the still where she's kissing him, that is from the Christmas episode. That's in season 2. And I really like that episode because he was really trying to do so much for her. Like, he really wanted to buy her this ring, and he was, it was a huge deal throughout the whole episode. But, at the end, she loved the ring and all that good stuff. But normally in this kind of like genre of anime, the main character is pretty like selfish. Like, he doesn't do anything to deserve to be admired the way he is. Like, all these girls the main girl or all these girls just fall all over him constantly, which is just insufferable to me. Because I'm like, dude, why do you like this guy? He's such a loser. But for this, he really tries to make an effort to show her that he appreciates her and that he loves everything that she's doing for him. And, he almost fell and busted his head open just to get her a ring. Like, I just thought that was, I don't know. I think that's great.
Well, it's endearing, and it also shows like why the two of them can be together instead of having somebody where the girl is amazing or the guy is amazing and the girl, one of them is not as perfect as you would like them to be, and then they're not good. I'm going to bring up another anime. Escaflowne is a good thing on that one because Hitomi's atrocious through the entire thing. I can't stand her. She's like the worst heroine on the planet. I'm just going to say that on there because she cries about everything. And so this was refreshing.
I cannot get through. Like, can I tell you? I couldn't get through it when it was on what is it? You remember on cable how cable
Mm-hmm.
used to have like I feel like it was Anime News Network that used to have like a channel or something like that on cable
Yeah.
or something. I forget. But I remember trying to watch that back then and I was like, ugh. And then I forgot why I couldn't get through it. And I tried to again. It literally took me almost like all of last year to finish Scaflone because I was just like, this girl is annoying.
She's and it's funny because it's her story. You're supposed to be like enamored with her, and I'm just like, please, just let Vaughn talk. Let him talk. Let's just not go on with what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Like it's so bad. And I'm like, even towards the end, I'm just like, she hasn't changed at all. She just happened to get the coolest guy in the universe, so it works out. Like great.
Yeah. The second photo, I think it's from the OVA.
Oh, is it? I thought it was the beginning one when she came out. I thought that was the outfit when I found it. I looked it up because like their introduction as two characters was one of my favorites for an anime too. Like her coming from him from a phone call to something where his heart knew he needed help and he did not. So I think that you have like this really great start of like their meetings because you're already like feeling bad for this kid because he's trying his best to live through college and make his life, and he seems like a good person. He helps people out, and then he's just not have good luck. And then the narration for it too, this is not going to end well. Basically, that's what they're saying the entire time. I'm like, oh, this poor boy. And so I'm glad that he got Belle Dandy and not one of his other sisters for his first got his phone call.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine if he had gotten Erd? Oh my gosh.
It would
She
not
just
have
bossed him around and like, oh, poor guy. Poor guy.
Oh, it would have been a totally different TV show. Not so much slice of life. Oh, and then we have these two.
Oh my gosh, these two.
Usually when you have other love interests, you can find some point of them to be endearing. I did not. I did not care for these two whatsoever. I was so annoyed the entire time.
They're both just like obnoxious. Like to the point where they come in episodes and you're just like, can we get this over with?
Yeah.
Like, I'm so glad that they are not like, I'm so glad they're the first season, is where you see them a lot. And you see them a couple of times during the second season, but not as much. They have other like goddess like issues going on, which just make it way better and funnier. But I mean, even during the Christmas episode, like he's with Belle Dandy. They love each other. It's obvious. And she was still trying to pull nonsense. And I was like, dude.
Mm-hmm. I just didn't get like their characters were very out in the open bad. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like very blatantly about themselves, and I haven't seen that in a while. And it is something that comes from this era of anime. Like they had some characters like that back in the day, but I hadn't seen it in a long time. So I don't know if it was refreshing or if it was just like, oh my gosh, I forgot about this part of the dark side of anime during this time frame.
Right? No, because you used to have like the characters where like it's like the bad guy was the bad guy, and you're just like, can you please get off the screen? There was no endearing like backstory of why they were the bad guy or anything like that. You were just like, you're obnoxious. And I mean they're supposed to be obnoxious rich kids that get everything they want. So to a certain extent, I get it. And it was played up pretty well. But yeah, no, they're not.
I was trying to think of other characters like to compare them to, and I was like, I can't right now, but it probably has been in some of the more classic shows that I just can't remember. I'm sure there's some Gundam seasons with a couple pilots that I just blacked out and don't want to know about anymore. I'm just like, no, don't want to look. I don't even want to think about them. Kind of coming to the end of everything right now, and there's the friends. The weird biker guys characters that I hadn't seen. They were completely hideous. So
over the top.
Yeah. And I think this is the last slide I have, basically just kind of talking about the episode and everything going on, because it's pretty an easy watch, I would say. Like, I watched it all. We watched it over a certain span of time, but I went back and watched a couple of the season 1 episodes because I think for me, because it's my first time watching it, season 1 was, I liked it a lot, and then season 2 was kind of like an additional adventure I wasn't quite ready for yet. I might have to rewatch it again because there's a lot of information. So yeah, so it's just like their whole world, because you think of it as a slice of life love story, but their goddess world and the demon world, there's lots of bits and pieces that I need to go back and like kind of read and see what's going on, because it's more than just what it is on like in these images of like a pretty girl and a boy and their love story. So it's pretty cool.
Oh no, it's so much more complicated than that, you know, like because you have all these like, you know, I mean, the beginning of season 2, you know, he almost loses her, you know, because there's all these rules and, you know, the goddess like helpline and how he shouldn't have asked for her in the first place. But I will say, I feel like that's where the either one of the OVAs. I feel like the OVAs came out first, which is why the art looks a little bit different. And then the movie, I feel like it's the movie that's in between the first and second season. I cannot completely remember off the top of my head. Because I've like, I mean, we were gonna watch this, and I was like, it's kind of like that Sumi's Book of Friends. I'm already rewatching it. I was like, sure, let's rewatch this. I'm already in the middle of it.
Yeah. I think like when I watch this, it kind of reminds me when I rewatched Fashugi Yugi. Like even though it's like super long, it's an easy watch and it's something that I hold dear. But their whole idea behind the priestesses and the different worlds is so interesting to me that it's even more like could be a shonen adventure. Like they have this whole thing going on that their love story is just kind of like the little tiny piece in between that's like the humor part besides Bill Dandy's adventures. So
yeah,
it's fun.
It's just her discovering, like, you know, what it is to be human, I guess you could say. Which I love how they like address the way they are, their makeup, the way they act, and everything as them just being foreign. Everything's foreign.
She's an exchange student.
Do.
Yeah.
That's what foreigners do. It's just so funny how that was like so easy to play off at that point in time, because I feel like definitely at that point in time, not a lot of people were traveling to Japan. So it was like, you know, now if somebody tried to pull that off, it'd be like, no, that's not what foreigners do. Like I saw that I see that on YouTube all the time. Like
yeah, exactly. I do think that having a power that helps me remember my passwords would be helpful. I would tell you that episode when she was like, I'm going to make this password appear. I was like, that is the coolest power. I wish I could do that. Because I forget them all the time. So I took from that. I'm going to make her faces bigger. You ready?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
So, yeah, I mean, obviously, this is just my passion. What do you, overall, like, you're going to watch it again, but like, how obsessed are you with my girls now?
Coming from somebody who watched Tsugi Yugi, which is like the opposite, which is like a girl trapped in with a bunch of boy priests, I guess, what the thing is for goddesses and stuff. I like it. I usually don't like, because you, like you said, the harem stuff kind of gets annoying, but this is not what that is. It's like an adventure and really nice. It might be, I'm going to rewatch it again, but it might be something I watch with Clara too, because I think it's actually really aged well and about 13 appropriate too for like little kids to like kind of have a good role model and good people to watch. So it's good.
Yeah. No. I mean, because it's like, while she is like a sweet and kind person, she's also very strong, which I think that's what I've always loved about it. Like, she has this strength, and she uses that strength to be like, no, we're gonna do good things, and I'm gonna do good things. So that's one of the things that I really do appreciate and love about her character so much. But I will say, I also really enjoy and love the tone down. Like, I mean, obviously they're feminine, obviously they're curvy, But again, something that was very much a thing for animation at this time, the big busty, Erd is the saucy, sexy one, but she's not overly, it's just all around. You can really just enjoy it. So
it's lighthearted and well done. So like I said, it aged well sounds awful, but it does, like, I could watch it now just like I would watch anything else. Like some of the animation now is kind of like wants me to pull my eyes out, but it's just like one of those things. But I mean, I think it's one of those shows that's like I'm not gonna watch Tenchi Muyo again. Like I can't, like, thinking about it. I was trying to think of like harem-y stuff where I was like, okay. Back then I was like, why am I watching this? It's like the characters sometimes are really cool, but like Belldandy in this, you're right. She is genuinely great from start episode 1 through the entire couple seasons, enough for I want to watch it again and kind of learn more about her. They don't have figures for this, do they? I was trying to think.
So Good Smile came out with some bunnies. Actually, I feel like Erd's bunny just like came out. Good Smile did bunnies of them. And I do believe there's like a couple of dolls. It's one of those ones, and I don't know if it's because Dark Horse. I don't know, to be honest, why there aren't more figures of them. But I feel like in 2015, when they started doing the omnibus, there were a couple of figures of Belldandy, and then I know Good Smile did the bunnies of them, and I think the last one came out either last year or the year before, and it was Erd.
Maybe they'll do like a clear file, like how they brought back Sakura, and then they'll do more figures after that, because they did like a continuation. I don't know if they can, but it would be cool to see, just to get
there's plenty. There's plenty of material, plenty, and like you said, the animation aged well, so it's not like they'd have to like redo it to fit now, kind of how they redid like Fruits Baskets, they remastered it completely.
I think it's needed too, because I was like, I can't think of anything that's out right now that kind of has the same vibe.
There isn't anything that just has like a good feel, love story kind of slice of life, easy vibe. There isn't anything right now. Everybody, the Japan is really stuck on isekai, where the US turned out.
I was trying to think, because I was like, what do I have in my queue? But everything's old, because I'm like behind on like half of the world right now. I think I lost like 5 years of anime that I have to rewatch. So
I love that about you. I do. I've got stuff in my queue that's like that I need to either A, finish, or B, just watch in general. But there really isn't. There's nothing out there like it. It's a very unique story too, Yeah. People don't, I don't know if it's editors or what, but people aren't pushing for just nice slice of life, genuine.
No.
Here's a little quirky. Here's an alien. This girl is an alien. She just happens to be here, kind of thing. Or goddess or whatever. But yeah. So.
Yeah, everything's kind of. Of course.
I'm all smiles. I'm like, I love that you liked it.
I really did. Huh?
But the bunnies are super cute. And then there's.
I don't have any bunnies. Like, it'd be crazy.
You don't have any bunny figures, do you?
I think Devin might think I have a problem at that point. I told you I just got that because we just started ReZero, which is another reason why I've lost 5 years of anime apparently. And then we have that Rem that I just showed you, the new scale with the Halloween version, because she's my pick for that one. I know it's probably not the most adorable pick, but I love her.
No, everybody loves Rem to the point of it's ridiculous, but it's like.
Well, I
No,
like Betty the
Betty.
best, but there's not that many figures of her. So
There aren't, and she's best
Mhm.
girl. She
Mhm.
is best girl in that show. But yeah, no, Rem. There's just too much of her. There's too much
Sure,
of
there
her.
is. Yeah. They have bunny
Literally.
figures of her too, but apparently they have everything of her. You could think of an animal and she probably has a suit of it somewhere.
Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, can we get some of the other characters? And then Subaru has one scale, but he's with Rem,
Mm-hmm.
and then his Nendoroid was just, it was disappointing.
Um,
I don't know if you watched the IGTV that I did when I unboxed that.
I need to.
You probably should, because I actually had to cut out a whole slew of like curse words because I opened them up and I was like,
Why did I even get this? Yeah.
I was because that was the first time the US site had crashed when people were trying to get him. It was him, and I think there was one other Nendo that was on there that was going to be an exclusive, that was a con exclusive that they had offered. And
Must have been someone crazy too.
I forget, but yeah, but that was the first time that the website had crashed. And so I fought to get his Nendo, and then when I got him and I looked at him and I was like, you got to be kidding me.
That's too bad. I was trying to think of like similar, like Shiro from Fates is one of those like kind of the same kind of thing, but he only has like a couple things too, and he's one of the best like protagonists for that series. So it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
But you know, you can get Saber in any outfit too. So
There's like a million sabers.
mm-hmm.
She's got figures. She's got how many different Nendos?
I don't even know. Like I when you were doing that con thing for like the Good Small Wonder Con, and we were trying to do picks. I should have just done a whole row of Saber figures because I could have totally won.
Right.
Like it's like everyone that they do, and it's not a bad thing. The series does really well. It's animated well. The character designs are awesome. I would need another room if I collected them, but it's just like I don't know. I would like at least one or two from something else. It'd be nice. And
Yeah.
all my goddess Nendo would be nice.
I have been asking. I have requested over and over and over. I think that they would be really cute. Maybe not a Nendo, but at least a Nendo doll. You know, because of her outfit.
Just even if they're going to do a single figure, because like the Saints Omnipotent that they had her, they could do a one-off of Belle Dandy and do it as a classic, just like they did like with Yu Yu Hakusho and Inuyasha and like all that stuff coming back. It can be nice.
I know. They need to do more classic Nendoroids. They need to go back.
Mm-hmm. And not just from shonen. They need to pull some shoujo and do some slice of lives and
Maid Sama.
Yes, and then like I'm like blanking right now on shoujo. You know, like I'm tired. Just like one of those things.
Sama, Kami-sama Kiss.
Yes, like some actual like classic ones that you could have one and be okay with the main character. So.
Oh, I don't know if I can have one of Maid Sama. You'd have to have both of them.
You would have to have both.
You'd have to have it, and Kami-sama Kiss. You'd have to have both.
They would be cute windows though.
They would be. Well, you know what? Some company, I think it was the Pikachu, the doll that you saw. I think they were doing one of Tomoe, but I don't know what happened with that. I don't know if they like ended up not getting the right licensing for it or what. They announced it at Wonder Festival in 2019, I think.
Maybe it just got postponed because of everything else.
Maybe Good Smile is like really cool, and they got like they saw that and they're like, you know what, we're gonna snag in there and grab that, and we're gonna make our own. That would be awesome too.
That would be, and they would sell a lot of them. That's the whole thing. It's like it's silly to just. I know that they're probably busy and they sell a lot of figures regardless, but a lot of the figures I'm even looking that I have, I'm like they come from like I have the Girls Last Tour pair, and like they're like that anime stopped and ended, and it's like. They had figures. We should be able to make some pretty popular series too. So, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm kind of like, I'm at the point with Good Smile where I'm like, I literally have like 4 things in my wish list that have not come out yet
Yeah.
on MFC, and that's it. There's nothing else that I like.
I think I'm gonna go through my pre-orders today and just see what I really, really, really need because I have a lot of scales coming from Ami Ami. So I have a lot of Jujutsu Kaisen coming, so I need to make some space.
So funny.
I got my Tanjiro with my Rem this last box. That was that huge box. I sent you pictures. And then I have Gyu and someone else coming next time, and then there's like 4 in the next box. It's gonna be insane. I think I have Gojo. There's a bunch of them. There's like I have to go back through and look at it. Oh, I have the guy from Kamino, Jihin too, the main guy Kabane. I have his scale coming, which I'm very excited about.
He's adorable. And why are there not more Nendos from that?
They made one, which is enough for me to be like, oh, thank you.
I know, but that's one of the things that's starting to bug me is they keep making one-offs and not full casts. And when you're doing photos or anything like that, it's like, yeah, you can have the one-off, but it's so much funner when you have the full cast. I don't know. I think I see a lot of people going the route of just getting customs made because Good Smile is not
doing their thing,
doing the thing. So I might start to go that route.
I've been thinking about it, so I'm like, but we'll see. I don't know. I have so many pre-order. I gotta wait anyways. So the September is gonna be hurting me. So we'll see how it goes.
September. I cry because back to back. I don't know what I was thinking.
I laughed when they pushed more of it back into September. I was like, well, you cannot hurt me more enough. Good Smile here. Let's go. Yeah, I think it's Kuro, Gojo, and Norman. That was the 3 they pushed, and I already had like 3 in there, and I can't remember which ones it was, but there's no canceling those 3. So it's just like it's gonna suffer.
Yeah, I actually already paid for Norman and Gojo because I got those. Norman I got from Sure Thing Toys, and then Gojo I got from Connects.
I got Nobuo from Connects, so that she's paid for too.
Yeah, I think that's actually the route that I'm going to go for now on. You know?
Yeah. I pre-order stuff in such bulk, I don't want to do that again. So it was just like, now with my little, I was like, I'll wait. But I think that's the end of this episode since we're trailing off from our Oh My Goddess talk.
Yeah, we're just talking about like figures and stuff and complaining about. We should have like a episode where we just talk about Good Smile.
We should, and even just like stuff we have up and ready to go. So. Voice our grievances. You're perfect. All right. Well, at least we could pick up. I don't know what I would like coffee rank this season because it's my first time watching it. It's not very nostalgic for me because it's like refreshing. But do we have a refreshing beverage? I can't remember.
I don't think we have a refreshing beverage. Is there a refreshing coffee beverage that's refreshing?
I don't know. I was thinking that like iced tea would be good, but I was thinking like,
yeah,
like because that's got caffeine in it still, right? I don't know.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, it was really nice, and like I was looking forward to sitting down and watching it and like doing the thing. Whereas like with Spice of Wolf, I loved it, but I was like, okay, I have to concentrate. I have to listen to what they're saying. They're like talking about trade. I'm like, this is gonna be like intense. I gotta pay attention. And then with this one, I'm like, oh, I could just hang out. It's refreshingly cool. The dialogue's funny. I can just like do my thing. So that's mine.
Yeah, yeah. This is another one that's a latte for me. You know, it's classic. It's smooth. I can like just sit back and watch it over and over again. I actually was looking on eBay the other day and I found the DVD. So possibly going to pick up the complete set just because I feel like I should own it.
And then we have Your Name next, and we should just do it next weekend.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Mm-hmm.
So
We talked
quick
about that one
episode.
already.
I do love that one. That one hits me in the feels.
That
Hits
one's
it in the
really good.
feels even more because the ending's so freaking ambiguous.
It's just it's gorgeous. Like it's another easy watch. And Devin hasn't seen it yet, so that's a good perfect thing for me to be like, we're gonna watch this. So it's like me with like I have like all the movies like in a stack by the TV. I'm like, you need to watch Promare, we need to like do this and like do all these. So I'll do all of them.
You guys not watched Premiere yet?
I have. I've seen it twice, but like he has not. So
I need to get rid of my extra Leo, like desperately. I'm trying to I'm at this point I might do him in a giveaway.
you
Nobody's
should.
buying him. Nobody's buying him. I'm like, somebody take this from me, please.
I have a Nosuke still hanging out in his bubble wrap because they got that extra randomly. You never know that feeling where you're like, did I order two? like, where is this here? I don't remember ordering two. And then,
Oh my God.
yeah, so that's perfect. Okay, well,
All right.
let's say bye.
Your name next week, guys.
Yeah,
Talk to you
thanks for
soon.
joining us and have a great day.
Bye.